Hey guys, still here and welcome to Terra Nil. Terra Nil is a environmental rejuvenation game. Yes, this is essentially a terraformer slash reverse city builder where you're deployed into a wasteland. In this wasteland, you are tasked with bringing life to the wasteland. How you do that is the puzzle. There are a lot of buildings that you can use, and you can already see a bunch of them in the trailer of this game here. Now there is a demo of the game available right now, as the game itself is slated for release in early 2023. So let's have a look and see how this game plays, and whether it might be something for you. Here we are in the demo, and in the demo you do have a couple of buildings that you can already build. As you can see, we got a big wasteland here. Nothing lives. Yes, there might be the occasional tree, but it's a dead forest. The riverbed that once used to contain water has long dried up, and it's going to be up to us to try and get the water flowing once again. Now, there are a bunch of different phases in this game, and as you can see here at the bottom, this is phase 1. As you go through the game, you're going to be going through building water systems, purifying the soil, and doing some greenery. That's phase 1. Those are the buildings that I have available now. As you go up through the stages, you'll be also restoring biodiversity, fixing the climate, introducing wildlife, and eventually recycling all the structures that you have used so that you leave no trace, but you do leave a beautiful, hospitable area for life. All maps that you can see are procedurally generated, so no map will be the same and no playthrough will be the same, and that's really interesting. What particularly drew me to Terra Nil, especially to try it out, as the demo is free, is it seems to be one of those perfect games that you play in the background. Or rather, you play it in the foreground and you listen to the music. But you can also, with this game, since it is not exactly a real-time strategy game or a game that constantly demands your attention, you can watch something on a potential second screen. You can listen to a podcast. You can do some other task, as long as you can, of course, still focus on the game. Well, every now and then, that is. What I've just done is deploy my wind turbine that generates power and a couple of toxin scrubbers, which have turned this wasteland into soil. And the soil can now start growing things. By doing that, I have expended some of my resources. I am down to 775 leaves, or greenery. I'm not exactly sure what the term is for this particular resource. The objective is for now to get this target greenery to 100%. So that's the objective for this particular stage. In order to do that, we're going to be using these guys, irrigators. They create greenery by watering nearby clean soil. So the soil that we have just reclaimed on the wasteland. By doing so, we will get more of our leaf resource. And as you can see, these things have a fairly large area of coverage. They don't cover the areas that have not yet been scrubbed, so place your areas or place your buildings wisely. And this is where the, let's say, puzzle element of the game comes in. Now, if you press R, you're going to be able to rotate buildings, and with that, impact how much area they cover. Right now, this seems like a really good bet, because the building costs me 50, but it's going to yield me 178. Yeah, I think that's about as much as I can get here. So it's going to yield me 178 back in resources. So I've already reclaimed a bunch. But now I'm kind of stuck here, because this area, which is slightly more mountainous than the wasteland I have just reclaimed, does need another power generator. So let's set this thing up here. You can only build these power generators on the rocks that you see. Once that is done, I should be able to build another one of these soil scrubbers here. Maybe I can get another one going here. And then we can potentially, if we take this thing in its elongated format, there we go, we can get another 170 going. And with this, we've already reclaimed about a quarter of the map. There's still a lot to do. Now, seeing as we can only build wind turbines on these rocks, the area here is going to be a bit of a challenge. But that is where the other two buildings, or other three buildings, come in. Because we have access to a water pump, we have access to a calcifier, and an excavator. You're going to need all three in combination. The water pump takes water, takes energy and requires a bit of river bedding, like you see here, and then fills it up with water. So if I deploy it here, it's going to add a lot of water to the surrounding area. These things take 50 of your greenery, so plan wisely. But then again, you're also getting greenery back. So using the rivers is another way to get to areas that you might not necessarily easily get into. The next bit is the calcifier. This crystallizes nearby greenery, creating rocks. And rocks just happen to be the thing that we need. Because with a rock, I can then put another wind turbine down. So I can start to unlock more of the area. If for some reason you find that you're unable to build another bit of canal, like over here, I cannot actually get this far with a pump because I don't have energy. You can always build another area or another wind turbine, and now I can put down another pump. I can also now use this thing, the excavator. Because the excavator does something that is really quite important. It excavates an area and generates a new canal. And with that new canal, you can add another bunch of water. And then more stones, and then more of your buildings. So these things are very important, but as you can see, they have a range. And if I deploy it here, it's not going to be connected to the rest of the river, which means that the water pump here is not doing as much work as it possibly could be. If I add it here, that gives me a few more options, because that should draw in the water from the other side. Now I say should, because you never quite know how far the original pump... Yeah, that's kind of what I was worried about. The original pump doesn't quite have the range, and this area is still dry. What you can do, once, is cancel your last action. So I can deploy it, and I can say, nope, sorry, that was not a great idea, I'm going to cancel it. But at some point, you might find that you run a little low on your greenery resource. And when that happens, it's up to you to figure out how you're going to go from here. How are you going to fix the area that you might not be able to get into? Let's set up a calcifier for now over on this area, because I'm going to continue working here. Generates rocks. And between the wind turbine here and the wind turbine there, I should be able to cover a fairly good bit in more toxin scrubbers. And then start scrubbing more and more and more. If I put this here, I should be able to get just deep enough into the territory here, into the terrain. You can see they launch a sort of drill to get another pump going. Calcify this area. So let's say I'm going to have another pump. That's also going to add a bit of greenery here. So pumps aren't exactly a pure drain. They also generate a bit of greenery, but don't rely on them too much to get more of your resources back. Now with this, I can get this area scrubbed. Yeah, just like that. And then with another one of my irrigators, I should be able to cover a fairly healthy portion of the land here. This is not going to really recoup the full investment yet, though. This is better. This is 122, 125. But I won't quite be able to get that last strip. So again, this is where the game generates a sort of puzzle element going, you know what, you figure it out. How you want to go about it, entirely up to you. How you want to devote your resources to getting the task done, entirely up to you. And this is what I really like, because essentially right now I could walk away from the game. I could focus on planning my next stage, or I could focus on, okay, what's currently happening in my Netflix show. And it's kind of weird to say that you might be doing something else while gaming, but I think a lot of us do this. Because not all games require your full and constant attention. And because of that, you are free to do something else while you're playing. And of course, you can start a whole discussion in the comments about whether or not it's a great idea to be doing something else while gaming. But what people do is entirely up to them, I believe. Okay, we're now halfway through our goal. So we still have quite a ways to go. If I set up another calcifier here, That will allow me a bit more area to set up a wind turbine. Like over here. Then I can get another soil scrubber. Let's not overlap them too much. Yeah, I'm going to do one here. And one as far away as possible. And now we're going to get the whole bunch here. 173. That's a really good yield. Yeah, 173. Boom. Done. 57% done. We still got this area over here to go. So, considering that I have a bunch of resources available now, let's dig another bit of trench/canal. Because I am going to need that. Considering that otherwise we will not be able to get in there. There is a bit of a drawback though. Because this thing not only dug another bit of canal, it also caused pollution around itself. It poisoned the land around itself. So the area here is now poisoned, and this is something that you, again, are going to have to puzzle in order to fix. Because you might want to start digging first and then make sure it's green, because then it still covers the area around it. If you do it in the other order, the way that I just went about it, you might find that it's not necessarily an ideal format. Because in that case, you're going to be first cleaning up the area and planting greenery in it, and then going, oh crap, I now no longer have an area to work with. Let's purify all this. And let's see if I can purify all of this. And then we're going to put another one of these irrigators. 70, 80, 89. Oh, no, it's not quite going to give me enough. And this is not necessarily going to get me enough either. If I go with another wind turbine there, I might be able to do it. But the problem is, I'll be out of resources. I'm getting 148. So, if I spend another bit, I'm going to be down to 73, which means I cannot set up another purifier. Oh, sorry, it's toxin scrubber, and then another irrigator. So let's just get as much as possible here. And see if I can get just enough resources to continue here. It's going to be cutting it fairly close. This is 1. Yeah, this should be fairly okay. Because now I can get another whole bunch of... There we go, 178. Yes, please. 255. Perfect. Can I do something similar over here? Perhaps. But the challenge is definitely on, because now I don't have as many regions left for purifiers. Maybe one here. One there. Got a 155. How much can I get? 117? 158. 162? Yes, please. Let's go. 164. I'm on 82%. Might be able to make it here. Got 319. I should be able to get a bit more terrain here. So let's get another scrubber. Let's get another scrubber. I can, yeah, that's working right there. Okay. 123, 130, 137. Sounds like a deal. 90%. This area is going to be tough. Because I now have 281 resources, if you will. I can get another one of these excavators going. But the problem then becomes, how do I spend my resources in such a way that I'm actually able to make use of them? Because I would be left with 81, which is not enough. I would need more. Can I possibly reclaim a bit if I go on a building spree here? 64, 66? I don't believe I have a whole lot of terrain left for more scrubbers. So... yeah, I don't have any way to generate power there. 110. 122. 128. Yeah, sold. 128. 98%. Almost there. I just need a little more. As you can see, you don't strictly need to cover the entire map, just enough to complete your stage here. Just enough. I did a fairly decent amount here. This might be able to complete the objective. 59, 59, I'll take it. There we go. You successfully repopulated the wasteland with plant life. Now, increase the biodiversity of the ecosystem by restoring 3 biomes. Press the 2 tab to access new buildings. Let's go. What do we have? We now have the research center. Reduces the cost of scrubbers, pumps, calcifiers, and excavators, and makes excavators smaller. That's useful. We have the hydroponomium. Creates wetland. Can only be built on an irrigator near water and not on high ground. So you can build these, but they're fairly limited in where you can place them. Okay. We have a beehive. Swarming bees pollinate nearby greenery, creating fynbos flowers. Okay. Oh, requires a tree? Not quite sure. Oh, here. Right. So this is going to cost me 25 and it will generate some more resources. But I now have 3 additional resources. I now have... I'm not exactly sure what these are, but I still need to fill up all of these bars. We also have an arboretum. Uses nutritious ash to create forests. Can only be built on a burnt building husk. So fire in this game is an asset, as confusing as that might sound, because it does make your soil a whole lot more fertile. We have a solar amplifier. It provides strengthening the sunlight in an area around it, allowing for the lighting of fires. So if you want to torch the place, this is the way to go about it. And finally, we have the desiccator. Starts a controlled burn. Fire will burn greenery, fynbos, and most buildings, but will leave behind nutritious ash. So it is a way to turn your burned area here into something more feasible. So let's try that. Wait. Oh, right. It requires a pollinated area. So let's not put it over there. Let's put this thing here. Let's put this thing here. And let's put this here. And it burns. But of course only the area that we actually have access to. What do we have now? A nice burnt area. How is that going to benefit us? Gonna get me 14, right. Using nutritious ash to create forest can be built on a burnt building husk. So you really, on this stage, need to plan ahead to figure out where you want to build your stuff. Because otherwise, like I did now, you're going to figure out that this is not strictly the right way to go about it. And this is the challenge of the game. As you can see, I only have access to stage 1 and 2. As you progress, you're going to get access to more and more and more stages, increasing the difficulty level, increasing the level of planning that you might need, yet the game still will retain its calm composure. And I hope you will too, as you figure out these puzzles. I hope you guys enjoyed this preview of the game. It is coming early 2023. If you want to pick up the demo, figure out, or click the link down below in the description. And from there, you'll be taken to the Steam page. You can download the demo for yourself, if it is still available, that is. And just play Terra Nil for yourself and figure out if you're able to repopulate and rejuvenate this wasteland. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Thanks for watching. If you liked it, please hit the like so more people can find it. And if you have any suggestions for other games that I should check out, then by all means, leave them down below in the comments. Thanks for watching. I'll see you soon for more.